The prisoner of war camp located at Hereford was built for the Italian prisoners of war.
They were Italian prisoners brought over here from Africa.
When they first came, the whole town was just a little bit afraid because they were prisoners, you know.
They never gave us 1 minute to be afraid.
But when the women got to knowing them, my mother had no fear, so why should I have fear?
They were very gentlemanly.
They were nice-looking young men, except that it had the big old POWs printed on their back of their shirts.
In Italy, there's more artists than there are doctors and lawyers. And at the prisoner of war camp, there were many artists, many talents. The prisoners of war artists that worked at St. Mary's Church at Dumbarger, when they saw this plain church, not anything in it but just white walls, they wanted to decorate it as fast as they could.
Father says, well, I tell you what, we cannot pay you, but we can feed you. And you know, how's the quickest way to a man's heart is through his tummy. And they did a beautiful job. And when we looked through the door, they were whistling and singing.
I was 14 years old. That's how old I was when they were doing this. When I was here at one time, one of the Italians came up to me and asked for a dime. Well, in about a week later, they came back with this piece of jewelry, and it's got figures on the front and on the back, and so I've treasured it. One of the prisoners asked my mother for a 50-cent piece, and he made this ring for her. Well, she was so proud of it, it's got her initials on it. And she brought it home, and my dad said, "What, you take a ring from another man?" So it got put in the dresser drawer, and I found it after she had died when we were cleaning out the house.
There are very few of them left. I still correspond with 3, but they're in their late 90s. And they think I'm a spring chicken at 80. And they said, we left part of our youth at the church in all of those paintings. And what a magnificent way to leave something.
The WASP, the Women Air Force Service Pilots, are women who forever changed the role of females in aviation, and they did a wonderful job of relieving men of domestic pilot duty so that they could go overseas during World War II. The WASP trained here at Avenger Field in 1943 and 1944. The Saturday before Memorial Day, annually, we have homecoming at Avenger Field for the WASP. It is about WASP coming back to see the people that admire them so very much. It was a very gender-biased time. Men thought that flying airplanes was man's work, something that women shouldn't be doing. But these women knew that they could conquer the air in military aircraft just like they conquered the air in their small civilian aircraft that they had gotten their training.
I joined the WASP in 1944, and I was 21 years old. half a day we went to classes and then half a day flying. I loved it myself. But then see, we already knew how to fly because we had to have so many hours before we could be accepted into the program. So we knew how to fly, sort of.
And I had a grand time, and I really think we did some good. I don't think that we spent all of our time. We amassed 60 million miles. I don't think you can do that and spend all your time pulling up your hose and putting on lipstick and flirting with the boys.
I think the WASP did pave the way for me to become a pilot. They faced cultural challenges with just tenacity and determination. And then so that inspired me as I went through the Air Force Academy, as I went through pilot training, and as I've gone through my career, I look back on their determination and I know that I can succeed in what I've done.
We all really thought we could do something. I mean, Rosie the Riveter was doing her rivets and things, and why wouldn't it okay if it was to learn to fly? They needed pilots like crazy. They were crying their eyes out for pilots. Just because we wore a skirt and put on lipstick, we couldn't fly a plane? No, ridiculous.
My father was Marcelino Serna, the hero, World War I hero, the most decorated soldier from Texas.
Marcelino was 16, 17 years old when he came over to the United States, and at the same time, that's where he went and enlisted to be in the Army.
And he got to Europe, and his senior officials realized he wasn't from the United States. And they told him he didn't have to fight, and he decided to do it anyways. And he became the most decorated World War I veteran from Texas.
The service that he did, to actually volunteer to lead the attack single-handedly against a machine gun nest that was killing all of his comrades, typical of the Medal of Honor recipients. What really stands out is that he did not get the Medal of Honor.
Nombrar este puente. No tengo palabras.
Other nations gave him their highest medal. He couldn't speak French, he got the Croix de Guerre. He couldn't speak Italian, he got their Medal of Honor. He couldn't speak British, he got the British Combat Medal. And then the contradiction that the criteria for which he did not receive it, that he couldn't speak English.
Marcelino was a Mexican citizen. He came over, he showed the American people what kind of a person he was. And I'm very proud to be saying this about Marcelino Serna.
I would like my great-great-grandkids to remember that there was a hero in their family, and that legacy to continue, for them not to forget their great-grandfather.